yo, this episode felt like such a fun treat. Like there is just no stopping how amazing this part is. Part 3 of the Thousand Year Blood War arc. Like episode 6, I believe. I believe episode 32. First of all, just the interactions alone in this like episode is the reason why I just love these characters so much. Got Grimjow coming in, and then all of it, and just the interaction with all of them. Grimjow coming in, about to fight Ichigo. Then Nell comes in, and like you just it's just so fun to see this animated. Like all of it animated. Like even Nell has her beautiful like green hair. It's not the teal color from, I believe it's the Bleach Brave Soul or something, like it's the actual like green hair that she always had. And like just I remember reading this moment of everything with Grimjow being there, and then Nell hitting him in the head like a boob hit, like a boob smack that you don't expect Grimjow to ever happen to Grimjow. It, absolutely hilarious. Hits him, and then it tumbles down Nell and Ichigo, and I just the funny thing to me is just like Nell talking to Grimjow saying that like what's a number 6 trying to tell, like basically saying what's a number 6 trying to tell what number 3 should do or is supposed to do and stuff. And they were about to fight and everything, and then you got like just everything that happened with Yoruichi explaining everything was just absolutely peak and hilarious. And just the stuff that like obviously Bleach, I just love the fighting and whatnot, and just the visuals and how amazingly detailed. Which this episode, the character like details in the designs of the characters in this episode were absolute peak. Like Yoruichi specifically, like just the first one that I want to talk about, Yoruichi looked absolutely stunning when she was explaining things to Ichigo, and Ichigo being the only one in the dark, and everybody knowing like what's going on, and she's giving like the rundown of like everything that happens to like telling Ichigo and whatnot, saying that like for talking about the Valley of Screams, which not only was it mentioned like a couple of times, I believe, maybe one or two times in the manga, but the very first Bleach movie, if you have not watched the Bleach movies, the first one is literally about everything about the Valley of Screams, and it is one of my favorite anime movies, like period. It's called Bleach Memories of Nobody, and it is absolutely amazing. And seeing Yoruichi explaining to Ichigo what's going on, that like the precipice world is what connects the world of the living to Soul Society, but then the Garganta, which they can use to be able to get to like Hueco Mundo, is like it fills in the gaps that the Valley of Screams, which are like the lost like souls that have been lost and whatnot in the precipice world, and their little like pockets of like souls that have been lost and stuff. Garganta fills up those gaps between like the Valley of Screams and the precipice world, and she's explaining all this stuff to like Ichigo and whatnot, and they utilized it by like finding like Riruka and I believe his name's Yukio, right? And like him being excited to see them, like Ichigo's just expression of being excited to see them again was so cool. Like it was just awesome. So seeing them like using their abilities of like Riruka's abilities to like put things like in objects like that she loves, like she can put them in different objects and stuff, and he can make his own like Yukio pretty much makes his own like pocket dimensions and stuff. And the way that Yoruichi explains it was really funny, saying like he can make dimensions through like using electricity. And he's like, nah, it's not really that's not what it is, but whatever. Like that's the dumbed down term, simple term and stuff. It was just so much fun to see just all of these reactions again, but like actually animated, actually hearing them talking to each other. Bro, it's just feels so refreshing because it's animated, when, you know, I read it all those years ago. Just seeing it animated and everybody talking and discussing with each other was absolutely phenomenal. Nell, Grimmjow, bickering and stuff. Riruka comes in, Yukio comes in. All of them are interacting with each other, and just like it was just phenomenal. But like going back to like Yoruichi and her saying that like Kisuke decided to like wanting to utilize the Garganta itself to sneak up behind, like, you know, the Quincy's and everything, which this episode, bro, when when Yuhawk uses the overflowing power that he has now, that absorbing the Soul King, which at the same time is also his demise of what happened. Like seeing him do that, and then like connecting everything the way that they showed it. Oh, looked absolutely beautiful. The way he connected all of the readings of, like, you know, Zero Squad's like sections and stuff, and connecting the Royal Palace right there, and then reconstructing it and everything. Oh, absolutely amazing. And just, it looked absolutely stunning and beautiful. Next couple of episodes, oh, forget, bro, if we are getting it, which I'm pretty damn positive we are going to get at least 2 specific fights this arc, or this part in part 3, because in the opening song, which is just still so peak, the opening song and the ending thing, I love the ending more, but like just the visuals, a bunch of the visuals in the opening, there's gonna be 2 big fights that I'm absolutely hyped about. I'm so excited to see them animated, because I loved them when Kubo wrote them out and drew them out in the manga. Like, it was just I'm just ready for it. I'm stunned. But anyways, like seeing, like, you know, Yoruichi and the crew going in and going into Yukio's, you know, little pocket dimension thing that they utilize, you know, with, like, you know, the Valley of Screams. Like Riruka was able to, you know, gather like a one of the Valley of Screams, was able to minimize one so that they can use it to where they won't be able to see their spiritual pressure, or like sense their spiritual pressure like at all, kind of like a surprise attack and everything. And while this is happening, you know, Ichigo talking to Riruka, which, like, not only Yoruichi's like detail of her character design was so beautifully emphasized, you know, including like talking about how she, like, you know, when she was trying to seal the Soul King again, she put like a pin, like a nail down or a pin down for the location, like to be able to, so that they can get to where like that nail was and stuff, like to get up there for the surprise attack if they're there. She said, Ichigo, the moment we're there, fire off the strongest Getsuga that you got and stuff. And like hearing that was awesome. But like hearing Ichigo talking about, which was kind of funny that Ganju was talking to Yukio in this episode, being like I don't know you, and Yukio's like, I don't know you either and whatnot. But like Orihime talking to Chad, or talking to, I believe, Chad, right, saying that, like, you know, Ganju introduced himself, but Yukio just ignored him and stuff, which was kind of funny. And then like Ganju saying that, like, you know, we're risking our lives here. Like, you're not gonna come with us. And Riruka was also like, what, you're not gonna come with us and stuff, which Riruka, like, she was probably gonna get killed, honestly. Like her power is pretty cool, but like I don't think she was gonna be able to, like, you know, get shit done, like fully fighting all these characters. But like just to see Ganju's interaction, talking about, like, you know, we're gonna be risking our lives and stuff, you don't want to come with us and whatnot. And he's like, nah, I was just dragged into this, you know, I don't really care. Like, which is crazy to think that, because like literally everything's gonna be destroyed, like in general. But then he also tells Ganju, like, oh, you think you're gonna lose or something? And Ichigo's like, he got you, you lose, you lost Ganju in this discussion, which I thought was really funny. And then you see, like, you know, Orihime sulking a little bit, and then you got Riruka coming in, that, like, you know, you see their interactions in the Fullbring arc, and they're really like I don't want to say like they're like the best of friends or something, but Ruruka really interacts with her, being like, stop being sulky or gloomy and stuff. Get it together and stuff. Like, why are you making everything gloomy right now? And then like Orihime saying thank you to her and stuff, and then Ruruka being like kind of grossed out about it, and then she does like she smacks Orihime with like the little ears that she has on her outfit, which like her like top, the hoodie that she was wearing, absolute peak. It looks so adorable and fantastic and stuff. And sometimes it shows like the ears like bouncing and stuff, like she's excited, or like her ears get peaked when like somebody's talking to her. Like even in this episode when Ichigo was like, I know exactly what the Valley of Screams are like. They're anything but cute, and I know that your ability, you can only like make things small or use your ability on things that you find cute and whatnot. And she's saying, and him saying that like you pocketing the Valley of Screams for us, even though Ichigo knows that they're anything but cute, Riruka did it anyways. So that must have been like kind of hard, a little bit hard on Riruka herself. So he says thanks to her. And then like the detail, and I want to say budget, but like everything in this episode was amazing. But like the detail that they put in her like character, like look and visual and design stuff was immaculate. Just like Yoruichi's, just like even like obviously Grimjow, fantastic. Nell, fantastic. Like it was amazing. Like I don't know how they did that shit, but like that was amazing. And then the whole thing with like Kisuke and Shunsui and all of them opening the gate, finally getting that gate open for all of like the strong members to go up there to raid the royal palace where Yuak is and everything, was absolutely peak and fantastic. And you really see, like, you can really see Shunsui, like he's angry, he's very angry because his master Yamamoto was taken out, who he probably considered kind of like a grandfather to him. He's taken out, and then his best friend Ukitake, who is pretty much a brother to him, is like his brother. Like he gets taken out and sacrificed, and he's saying like your sacrifice won't be in vain, Ukitake. And Ukitake's still standing there, which is crazy. But like seeing that was absolutely like fun, like just see that and see them there. And then Shinji's constantly talking about like, yeah, what like why, like how is this happening when like Shinji's discussion is kind of like the most realistic shit. That's like, yo, how are they able to do this stuff in literally like seconds? Like what's going on? Which I thought was funny. And then like indicating like that like that's how like Shunsui, I believe, saying that like that's just how powerful our enemy is right now. And then you got like Yushiro, I believe it's I forgot how to specifically pronounce his name, but Yushiro and Yoruichi like sensing each other, like him saying like, "Oh, my sister's here," and he jumps off, but it's clearly because like he can't make a foothold, and Byakuya is talking about it like, since we can't make a foothold, it's clearly that the Quincy, since they're able to control Reishi, that they're able to like it's gonna be like near, like not near impossible, but like extremely difficult for us to actually make footholds in this area that they literally control with the reishi or the spiritual pressure that's around them and whatnot. So that's really cool to see. I can't wait to see the interaction between Yoruichi and her brother, which was gonna be really fun to watch. And like like Ichigo being confused and stuff, like him being out of the loop about everything, which is understandable because he was training like the entire time and stuff. But then him saying, which I thought was funny, and like seeing that interaction right there, seeing it that like Yoruichi's like, yeah, I have a brother, and then he's like, why didn't you tell me? It's like, why? She's like, why would I tell you I have a little brother? You my fiance or something? What are you, my fiance? Like Kisuke's her fiance, but or a husband. I'm pretty damn certain, but that's besides the point. That interaction was hilarious. And then one of the most hilarious ones was when we go back to the beginning of the episode, when Nell is talking to Ichigo, like, saying that like Kisuke made a bracelet or whatever so she can stay like in adult form and stuff and can help him. And her saying that like, I'm probably going to stay in this adult form. I'm probably not going to go back to a kid. And seeing Orihime's blushing, which I love this episode, or even just the last episode and this episode, the amount of like, Ichigo, Orihime, kind of like moments is just absolutely phenomenal. And this one was hilarious because like Chad is like, yes, Orihime, don't worry, I know what you're thinking. They're like, why does Kisuke have to make such unnecessary things? Like it's just seeing that animated, that moment was so funny, which also like bums me out because he made such a hilarious like discussion of not just like the thing that happened with Orihime in the episode, but also like Yoruichi sounding like she's like tired of explaining things to Ichigo. It's a bummer that he took out probably the best interaction of like Ichigo and Orihime in general in part 2, when they were sitting in that giant pillar waiting to get shot up to the royal palace to see what's going on and everything. Ichigo and Orihime and Chad and all of them and stuff. And this is what happens in the manga when they're sitting there waiting for Kisuke to launch them up in that giant pillar or whatever. Like Chad is like, "Hey Ichigo, I've been wanting to ask you this for a while, but I haven't gotten the right time to ask. What do you think?" And then Ichigo's like, "About what?" And then he says Orihime's outfit. And then Orihime's standing there smiling, and Ichigo's just like, seeing that interaction, like that whole thing, and then like Ichigo starts blushing, and then Orihime's like, "Chad, no," and then Ichigo's like, "Well, I think it could be a little too revealing or some shit." And then Orihime in her mind is like freaking out, like, "Oh my gosh, she thinks I'm an exhibitionist and all this shit. Like I can't like a dominatrix or some shit." Like that whole interaction completely, obviously when you see part 2, completely cut out of the anime, which is such a bummer because he gave such a funny, like all these moments that were funny in this episode were in the manga and they're hilarious, and then he didn't put that in there, which is it's very bummed out because that's one of the best Ichigo Orihime moments to me, period, in the entire series. And then while that's happening, you see Yoruichi just puts her hand right through like the cleavage of Orihime, like Orihime's cleavage, and it's like, "No, don't be sad and stuff." And then she yells at Ichigo. Yoruichi yells at Ichigo, saying, like, "What's wrong with you coward? Why don't you just say? Why can't you say that? Oh, you look great, Orihime. Let me take you now and stuff. You coward." Which was so funny, man. It was so funny reading it, but that entire thing was just not shown, completely cut out of the anime, which is an absolute bummer. But I hope he does something with it, like at the end of like maybe an episode or two at the end of this part in part 3. I hope. But I don't know if he's gonna do that. I would love to see it because that shit was just so. It was such a funny moment that they cut out of the anime in general, which was a bummer. But this episode and all the episodes before, absolutely fantastic. The Ichigo and Orihime moments of last episode and this episode were amazing, were fantastic and stuff. And then you got like, Yuak using his power and then the eyes opening and stuff. And literally all of them besides, I believe, besides Hashvald, like Jugrom Hashvald, like all of the royal guards are like freaking out. Like Askin, like he's looking at Jugrom and be like, "Why aren't you freaking out that our king, our leader looks like a freaking monster, dude? Like what is going on?" And then if you see Uryu like sweating, like, "Oh my gosh, what the hell is going on?" and everything. And like Yoaki creating like a new world and talking about the Waterwelt, I believe, like the new world that he's gonna like start creating and whatnot. And he started with like their nation, which is the Wandenreich, like bringing it all up there. And that's how he did like the whole connection with like the Redens of the Zero Squad using, it looks like he just used ice or some. Absolutely amazing looking, beautiful, stunning, obviously. And it's just like the cinematography itself, because like the way that the camera moves around, like, Yoruichi looking one way and Ichigo starting to look that way that she's looking at, like the way it shifts and then it shows like the broken royal palace a little bit that it was taken down and showing, like it was amazing, bro. Like it just absolute peak. The animation, 3D animation, CGI, the drawing, the detail of just like not just Yoruichi, but like just all the characters and stuff, like like Yukio, or like not Yukio, but like Ruruka, and then like Yoruichi, and just all of them, and then seeing the interactions between Shunsui and Kisuke and stuff was amazing. And then like Nanao and seeing Lisa with Nanao and talking with them and stuff, like absolutely amazing. All of its peak, like it's such a movie, man. It looks so good. And I'm excited for next episode or next couple episodes because there's going to be fights that are going. I'm thinking that I think there's gonna be one fight that I think it's gonna last 2 episodes. I think there's gonna be another fight that's probably gonna last like 1 or 1.5, and then there's gonna be another fight, and then at the end of this season, this part 3, I think there's gonna be a moment where Ichigo and somebody else, like at the end, they face to face with Yuak. I'm very excited for that. But anyways, the episode was amazing. Every single thing about it, like the interactions, obviously peak. That's what Bleach is best for. That's what Bleach is like to me known for is just like the small discussions and interactions with each other and stuff. Not just the fights and everything, but the story building, storytelling, the world building, and just them talking and stuff like that. And then even just Grimmjow being like, who said I'm on your side to Ichigo? Like if Hueco is going to be destroyed, if Yuak is like, the leader, like starts like taking everything down and stuff, Hueco will be gone. Where else am I going to kill you, Ichigo? Which is funny because Ichigo is miles above Grimmjow right now. Like he is so far away from, but you love to see that rivalry, like still, like you just love to see it, and I'm hyped and excited about it. Even most of the Quincy's aren't vibing with this, don't want this. Like that's the interesting thing, that like almost all of these Quincy's were in the dark of literally everything that that is occurring or has occurred and stuff, and seeing them turn makes complete sense. And I'm here for a bunch of this stuff. I'm just here for a lot of other things that are gonna happen. It's gonna be good, fantastic. I believe that's it that I wanted to talk about, really. Just like the beginning with Nell and everything, and then Orihime having a little jealous look, which was absolutely adorable and whatnot, and Chad's talk, and then like Grimmjow and everything, and then seeing Riruka again with Yukio and everything, and seeing that like both of their abilities together, they won't be able to be detected by the enemy, which was awesome. And then Shunsui and Kisuke and all of them working together to get up there to the Royal Palace through that gate was awesome. And then seeing like everything with like Yoruichi explaining everything to Ichigo getting freaked out and stuff, like getting annoyed and everything was fantastic. All their interactions were just phenomenal. And again, just the detail of the characters was nuts this episode. Especially Riruka and Yoruichi, bro. Yoruichi, absolutely stunning, absolute babe. And then Riruka and her interactions and stuff, absolutely phenomenal. Everything was great. Everything was great. Even Yuak and what he looks like and his abilities, like absolutely stunning. Everything was phenomenal about all of this stuff. And I'm so ready for the next few episodes and stuff. But anyways, what did you guys think about this episode? Leave down in the comments your thoughts about this episode, your thoughts about what I said about it and whatnot, and my explanations about things. And leave down in the comments. Like the video if you did. Like the video if you liked anything I had to say. Or the episode. If you loved the episode, leave a like and stuff. And subscribe to the channel for more reviews, vlogs, unboxings, live reactions, theory discussion videos, and things like that. So, gentlemen, stay classy, ladies, stay sassy, but most importantly, everybody got to stay a little nasty. All right, so peace and love, and I'll see y'all later in the next video. Peace out. May the force be with you always. Latom, Bankai. Next few episodes are going to be amazing. Look forward to them just as much as me, guys. Peace out, and I'll see you guys later.